Hello,
Hello.
and welcome to Planet Marzipan, the Fish and Marillion podcast. I'm Mezza, and here's my mate.
Craig Houston.
Hello, and welcome to Planet Marzipan podcast. I'm Mezza, and I'm here with my good friend.
Craig? Now,
we
hold
have
on a
guests.
second before we do that.
All right, sorry.
Bloody Barnes. Right, that was all.
I haven't introduced him yet.
Doesn't matter. I'm staring at him now. Bloody
Okay.
Craig
What's he done?
You'll never guess who we've got with us.
What's he done?
Well,
God only knows. It's all a blur.
well, let's introduce him, and then he can tell us what he's done. Andrew Barnsley Wood is joining us today.
Hello, everybody. How are we? All right.
We're good. And where are you speaking to us from today?
From Mexico City, would you believe?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Planet Marzipan goes international today.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Put it on the merch.
Okay, and what have you done to Craig? What's he accusing you of?
I think he believes I'm the person that started calling him Fair Gooston. Is that true?
Oh, yes, it is.
Was that what it said on
you know it to
Spotify?
be true.
Is that what it said on Spotify when it dictated it out?
It is, exactly.
Hey, the truth hurts. The truth hurts. But we have more. There's more. We have more guests. We have Stephanie Bradley joining us again.
Hello.
Hello, Stephanie. And of course, we welcome back Lucy Jordache,
Yay.
who's on mute for some reason.
Sorry.
She's here. She's clapping, but you can't hear her.
Hooray.
Anyway, we got these friends together to talk about the very first Port Zelande weekend. So Marillion Weekend 2007.
I knew that.
That's good. That's good that you knew that.
Yeah.
Any memory, any recollection of that weekend, Barnes? Is that a blur?
No, weirdly enough, it's not a blur because I went with my family and I was on best behaviour the whole weekend. Would you believe?
Oh, right. So it
Well,
was
that's a slight
low profile.
exaggeration. It was quite low profile. It's a slight exaggeration because they left at Sunday lunchtime and then can't remember much of Sunday afternoon after playing pool all afternoon.
Okay.
Managed to fit in 3 days of shenanigans in half a day.
Yeah, you know how it goes.
And talking to the members of the pod who were working that weekend, how was it for you, ladies?
Well, it was our first one in Holland, and it was brilliant because we weren't at Butlins, where we'd shared it with some country and western weekend the year before, shared the site with a country and western weekend. And so it was the first time that everywhere in the site, everyone was a Marillion fan, and every TV was showing Marillion videos, and every restaurant was playing Marillion music. And so it was a first experience. It was amazing.
Yeah.
It was. And we didn't have to worry about jumping up and down too hard on the floor and thinking that it was going to give way to all the line dancers that were beneath us.
Correct.
It
Was it your first one, Stephanie, or had you done the Butlins one? I can't.
No, I'd done them all. I was at Pontins and the two.
No, but working it.
Oh, working. No, it's my first working one. So
Yeah.
So you were doing what is your current role then? You were allocating hours, right? Okay. That must have been a logistical nightmare for the first time.
it was a baptism of fire for sure.
What had happened was, so we'd done the first one at Pontins, and then we'd done the two at Butlins, and each time we'd had to share with another event, and we were just like, no, we can do it better than this. So I'd gone to Centre Parks in the UK, and they literally, and I'm not exaggerating, wanted about 2.5 times the amount of money to hire it that Centre Parks in Holland wanted. And also there was all the, oh, well, you know, you've got to have this license and that license and health and safety and da, 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 da. And the people just weren't. They were British. They weren't friendly. They were just sorry. There was no excitement. So I think I spoke to Renee Romswinkel, who's head of our Dutch fan club, and said to him, "Could you speak in Dutch to the Dutch for me? And I'd like to go and see the one in Holland." So, and then Steve Hogarth said, "Oh, I fancy a jolly. I'll come over with you." So me and H went over to Port Zealand and looked around, and the people there could not have been more helpful and more excited to have us there. And we were like, "Well, we want to build a tent, obviously." And they're like, "We'll demolish the car park for you." They were just so on it. And as I said, it was at least 2.5 times cheaper. It's still, might I add, bloody expensive. It can get on, putting a Marillion Weekend can get on close to 7 figures for us. It's a huge amount of money. So imagine how much it would cost us in the UK.
Yeah.
So yeah, we decided that would be fun. I came back and said, "Hey, Stephanie, just make it up as you go along and let's see what happens."
Which is pretty much what happened.
And it was fantastic. So well done.
Well, it was. I mean, there was a warm-up gig for this weekend, wasn't there? There was a warm-up gig at Coco in London.
Oh my days.
Is it coming back to it? Yeah?
Yeah, thank you. Yes, Coco in London. That was the band decided they should really do a warm-up gig, which they probably, that they try and do it now, but recently they've just been doing sort of private gigs at the Racket Club. I think they've done a few times, but we did a proper warm-up gig at Coco. I don't remember anything about it. Was it good?
It was good. It was really busy. I mean, it was they kind of picked tracks from across the weekend. So there was a debut for Last Century for Man, and the other half were played that night. They did King is Half Undressed. They did Hope for the Future. So it was a bit of a mix of what was to come across the three nights in
They played Hope for the Future.
They played Hope for the Future, yeah.
That's it.
It says on my bit of research here, John, they played it for the first time since 1997.
There you go.
Have you got that?
Wow.
Hey, Barnes, I'll take your word for that. Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
And never been
Homework
seen
complete.
since.
Honestly, I don't even remember if I was there. Can
You
you
know,
do you remember, Stephanie?
Yeah, you were there. You were definitely there.
Seriously?
It was very red. Do you remember Coco? It's very red inside, and it's got those like little balconies that look like Juliet balconies along the side.
No.
All I can remember about it is queuing outside. That's all I can remember about it. It's all been lost to the mists of time.
It's so funny to think back and think that we didn't know what we were doing in terms of Port Zealand, really, doesn't it, Stephanie? Because now it's like this well-oiled machine. And in fact, Stephanie and I swear this is true, we phone each other up and go, "I must have forgotten something because I've done it all and there's still 2 months to go. What have I forgotten?" Because it's the machine and it rolls and we know what we're doing and it is fun. We literally, haven't we, Stephanie, phoned each other. I must have forgotten something. I must have, especially when we had the break for the pandemic.
That was hard. Because
but once you got going, you were just, "Oh yeah, that's fine," and we were all like, "Yeah, that's fine," and we were all everyone was just doing it again. But it is really weird to think back and think, my God, that really was the very first time, and will the fans all enjoy being? We knew they would because of Butlins and Pontins, they'd enjoy being together, but to really be together and no cowboy and western and stuff to.
So I do remember it being very, very, as a fan going over for the first time. I mean, We're up at stupid o'clock in the morning for flights at about 7 in the morning to get across there, and then the shuttle service from Schiphol. Everything worked clockwork.
Well, it was great because you got fans meeting at Schiphol Airport, having a drink, having breakfast, jumping on the shuttle bus, and the atmosphere on the shuttle bus was great. Partly because they'd had a few beers before they got on, but
there was a lot of piss taken on those shuttle buses.
So, had you actually been to Centre Parks before you went?
I did, yeah. We went on a quick recce before.
Did we go again?
We went again, yeah. Otherwise, it wouldn't have made any sense to me at all.
I just suddenly thought, maybe she didn't even go at all. Just like, get on with it.
You can't do it from just a map, can you? You need to sort of visualize it, I suppose.
Yeah, you'd need to have a sort of mind map, but
yeah.
I think I could have probably done with maybe a week there rather than just a day or two. But it was enough. But you say about the shuttles again, that was another unknown. We'd never met these people that were going to do that. And one of the things that I did the first time round, again, you learn lessons each time you do them. It becomes an iterative process and you work out how you can do it a bit better each time. Even this time, I've made copious notes about...
Well, that first time we took the money for the shuttles, didn't we? And then handed it over. Even more work.
I know, I collated everybody's flight details. I remember that
What
Christmas.
the hell were we doing that for?
No, I remember phoning everyone's, that had forgotten to send their flight details in because you gave everyone a deadline. Saying, I need your flight details. That was all over Christmas.
No,
very popular with my family. Not
Barnes, you were going to say something there?
Well, I was going to backtrack a little bit back to the cocoa. Have we done with the cocoa? Well,
No, go for it.
Go for it.
It's sort of, as I remember the weekend, we had a meet-up in the pub at the World's End before the cocoa. It was sort of one of the first times I actually met a lot of people, including my good friend and yours, Richard the Wayfarer, Richard Neal.
Yes.
Is that the first time you met Rich?
First time I ever met him, yeah. And I went to the pub not knowing anybody at all. I've seen a few people, and I sort of latched onto him and can't shred him. Can't get rid of the guy now.
It's the start of a great friendship, that.
Well, exactly.
The legendary duo, yeah. I mean, we put the Planet Marzipan with Stephanie out in the last couple of weeks, and I think Andy Bliss has commented about Coco. He said you're a lovely lady, and he's got distinct memories of thanking you for organising the bookings for Port Zelande 2007 while he was in the queue at Coco, and you reeled off the chalet number and the people that he was staying with. So, yeah.
You mentioned what you can remember, but I can't really actually remember what I had for lunch yesterday. So.
I can't remember being at Coco. So,
Interestingly enough, for listeners, that burnt down. Coco burnt down a few years back. And I went to a couple of gigs there just at the end of last year and one at the beginning of this year. And they've done a wonderful job, restoring it all. It looks pretty much...
Still red.
Still red, yeah, because it's listed. So they had to restore it back to how it was. It obviously just looks a lot fresher than it did when we played there. So
red and singed. Is that is what they've got? Is that a colour?
Still smell a bit of smoke. But, yeah.
But yeah, it was really exciting going over to Holland, wasn't it? The excitement was on the as soon as you got to the airport, got on the plane, there were other fans. I flew from Leeds, Bradford, I think, and there were other fans there at sort of 6 o'clock in the morning with us getting the plane.
It was great back in the day. We had Jet 2 from Newcastle, so it was only 30 quid to get across. Now it's just KLM and costs a fortune.
Did we have good weather?
It was February. It was bloody freezing. But it
was clear, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was cold.
I think also it was the 2nd of February when it was. It was really early in the year, isn't it? Remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, 2nd of February, yeah.
February.
But this was the time of the...
I remember this.
This was the time of the big grey fleecy marbles jackets, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you needed them. You needed them in February.
Yeah. Brutal wind. It was a brutal wind.
It was, but it was sunny.
I remember now.
Yeah.
It was our first time, and they were like, "You've got to go as early in the season as we can." And then obviously when they saw what a success it was, we've managed to bump ourselves, quite far into the end of March now.
Yeah.
We can't go any later than that, which is a shame because I'd love to be at Port Zealand in the summer. Wouldn't that be nice? Not
Oh,
to
that would be lovely.
Yeah.
That would be
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah, definitely. Well, when we got there, for those of you that haven't been to a Marillion weekend, a residential one, there's a program provided. So it's usually a colour program with itinerary and where the shops are, that sort of thing. And Pete Truavas did a bit of an intro for the program on this occasion for the 2007 weekend. He said, "Hello and welcome to the Marillion Weekend 2007. And what a weekend we have lined up for you. A brand new host venue and a brand new host nation. Centre Parks, as the name suggests, is right in the centre of things. And yes, in fact, this Centre Parks was chosen for its unique and user-friendly position on the world map, making it easy to travel for one and all. While I was looking up how to get here, I worked out I could book myself on sea freight and it would be quite a bit cheaper than other options, but it would take 16 to 20 weeks to get here."
Are you sure that was me? That really sounds like something H would write.
Well, yeah. I hope you all arrived safely, are up for a party, and are looking forward to this bigger, better, and really quite unique weekend. We have a purpose-built pavilion that's been designed specifically for our needs. Sorry about the smell of old elephants. And will allow us to put on 3 mind-blowing and very different shows. There's also a varied lineup of really good support acts all thrown in and flown in as well for your enjoyment. It does sound like H, doesn't it?
Who were the support acts?
Oh, hang on. Let me finish this. And
Still going on.
There's more. We remember just what it's like to be an opening act. So please encourage them and buy them a drink if you bump into them. We'll be around all weekend, so there's every chance of running into us or the other acts. If you do, feel free to say hi, enjoy the atmosphere and each other's company, but most of all, enjoy the shows. Pete D.
Oh,
Excellent.
So, yes. You ask who the support acts were.
yeah.
They were good as well.
Was it Mr. So-and-so on the Friday night?
Friday night
So-and-so was Saturday on.
Was it
Friday night,
all right.
Mr. So-and-so, and then the Marillion set, which we'll talk about in a minute, and the premiere of the Racket Rock Disco.
Indeed. Did Gazpacho play as well, John? Were they the Sunday?
They're Sunday, yeah.
Yeah.
And Saturday.
Saturday, I'm reading from the programme directly here, 12 o'clock, the Marillion quiz.
Hooray!
Who won that one?
Who won that one? I don't remember.
I can't remember who
Will
won
it
that
be
one.
the Cakey Boys?
It was
It's taken
run by
exactly
the Web
15 minutes.
UK that year, yes. I wonder who won
Taking
that.
you 15 minutes to mention it, Craig. 15 whole minutes. It's probably going to take another 15 for you to stop mentioning it, I guess.
Yeah. Saturday afternoon, Jason Hart was support. I think that was in the Adventure Factory. Steve Thorne on the main stage. No, again in the Adventure Factory. And on the main stage was a band called A Day's Work.
Oh, yeah.
They were the Beatles, weren't they? The Beatles
Dutch.
band.
They were on at midnight, the fabulous Wanna Beatles.
Oh, okay.
They were at we had a band on at midnight.
You had a band on at midnight till 2 a.m.
I don't remember anything.
I think that needs to come back. That's the idea.
I think you've started that band, yeah. And then on Sunday, there was the quiz final and Q&A session on the main stage at 2:30. A band called the Sad Song Company at 5:30. And then in the main hall, Gazpacho supported Marillion.
Did we have swapped the band?
Yeah.
I think you would have done, yeah. Because it's Friday, didn't.
I can't see it listed, but I'm sure you did.
Did we have an afternoon Q&A and stuff?
Yes, that was on the Sunday. So the quiz final and then the band Q&A straight afterwards.
Was it also that thing where you could queue up to see the band? Was that it the first time there? Do you remember that? I mean, I didn't queue up, obviously, but you could queue up and have an autograph sign, and it went on for about 4 hours.
I don't think that's ever happened
never again
in Holland.
No.
Oh, it must have been at Pontins or Butlins then.
Yeah, that was
both, yeah.
Pontins.
I think tried once and never again. I think it was one of them sort of things, I would imagine.
Yeah, no, that was ridiculous.
Yeah, that's why we did a draw for PZ onwards. We did it as a draw.
Okay.
Yeah, it talks about the signing session. If you've been chosen to take part in the signing session, you'll have separate information sheet in your welcome pack.
Or not.
Or not, if you haven't been chosen, yes.
Yes.
It does talk about the cameras and filming policy, which I won't read, but if you've been to a gig, you'll know what that is.
Don't bother. Let me just say it again while everyone's listening. Take some snaps. If you want, that's fine. But remember that Alison Toon and Anne-Marie Forker and all the wonderful photographers are taking photographs that we will share. They will be better than yours. But feel free to take photographs because I get that. But don't bother videoing it because you will never, ever, ever, ever watch it again. And if you put it up on YouTube, we'll get it taken down. It will sound shit. Don't bother.
It'll be all wobbly because you're jumping up and down watching it and the camera's going up. It's just...
John, is there a counter argument to this? It's all a bit one-sided, this, isn't it?
I thought I might snip that and use that as a trailer.
It'll be shit, don't bother. That's the title of the podcast.
And there ends the party political broadcast. The other things are brand new items available for sale that weekend. So, as was the cycle in that time, you'd get the CDs from the previous weekend had just come out. So, Smoke and Mirrors had just come out, and Bootleg Butlin's DVD had just come out, as well as H's H Natural DVD. And then, of course, the Marillion Weekend T-shirts, etc. Barnes?
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, this was the first and last time that the on-site restaurant was called Billy's Burgers, after which it changed its name to Snacks or something, didn't it?
It did.
You're absolutely right.
We all still call it Billy's.
Everyone still calls it Billy's Burgers.
It is. Is Sharky's still Sharky's?
Don't know.
There's a
Sounds a
Sharky's
bit of market for us, that one.
Definitely write that in the notes. Let's get a little placard made for outside and put it Billy's Burgers outside. We'll do
recommended
the logo,
recommended by Andrew Barnes.
Recommended since 2007.
Yes.
I've got the old logo somewhere if you want it as well.
No, it needs a t-shirt.
I think you made a beeline for it, didn't you? As soon as your family had left, that's it. You were straight off to Billy's Burgers.
Shall we talk about some music?
Yes.
Friday night.
Remember anything.
So Friday night, unusually for a Marillion Weekend, they started with 5 brand new songs that we'd not heard.
Well, that was a bit crazy, wasn't it?
It was off the wall, wasn't it? So
it's a bit mental.
They premiered 5 songs from somewhere else. The Other Half, Last Century for Man, Thank You Whoever You Are, Lucy's Favourite Most Toys, and The Wound.
I bet that went down like a lead balloon, didn't it?
No, I don't think it did.
I don't think it did. I think it went down really well, actually. Yeah.
Do you really like hearing songs live for the first time, though?
Yeah, it can be interesting, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. And it's that good that you even put 3 of them out on a DVD.
I don't remember that.
There's a theme here, and there's a theme. I don't remember that.
She's channeling H's Corona Diaries. I remember now, he says.
So there was a 3-track I think it was a promo for somewhere else called Something Else, which has got Last Century for Man, The Wound, and Thank You Whoever You Are on. And it is available on the Space if you want to watch it. It's about 20 minutes long, but it's great. It's really good.
And it was the first time that Tim had filmed the band.
Yes.
Properly as a long form. This strange convention came out after Somewhere in London, didn't it?
Yeah.
But it was filmed first.
Yes.
So yeah, that's what chronology done.
One for the quiz team.
I think we had one of those, what are they called? Jibby jab. What are they called? The thing that swings across.
The crane shot, the crane stuff.
Yes.
Barnes, you're in the trade. What's it called?
I don't think they did for this.
A crane.
A crane. There you go.
I didn't think we had the crane till next one. I think this was more of a.
I think you're correct there, Craig. Because when I did my homework, I didn't see any crane shots on my homework.
Fair enough. I knew we let him have one at some point, and then we took it away again because it took up too much floor space. It pissed fans off.
Yeah. Say,
So
Barnes,
here you go, and then no, taking it away.
see, we're relying on Barnes doing his homework this week for us, you see. He's keeping me right.
And the rest of the
Always a
Friday night
concern.
set was This Strange Engine.
Hang on, I'm interrupting.
No,
Just
no.
going back to the boring crane thing, right?
Yeah.
When you're building the tent, or what did Pete call it in the opening?
Pavilion.
A pavilion.
Yeah.
Nice
When
posh
you-
term.
When you build the pavilion, you become a professional in. We actually drew out spaces on the floor in chalk in the racket club and stood in it because you're allowed, I think it was 1 square metre per person or something, I don't know, floor space. And so we worked out that to have the boom thing, we'd have to lose 200 of the spaces, and you have to work out the flow of the path and everything so everyone can walk easily to the toilets and the exits. It's the most boring shit in the whole world. And I did that for the first couple of years with Eric, and then Eric got bored of doing it as well because it made our heads hurt. And we've now got a production manager called Stumpy who does all that boring stuff. And
So you can make his head hurt.
Yeah, Alex. We had Alex Bain as the first production manager, didn't we, to do it? And then
don't ask me. I don't know anything. Remember? But yeah,
You do. You keep getting these moments of clarity. So you
yes,
do.
no, Stephanie's right. She's prompting me. Yeah, no, after Eric, Alex did it, and then he decided he wanted to go and live in America or something, and so Stumpy now does it. But there's so much more to Port Zealand than, the fans just turn up and it's la, and we've spent months doing all this crap. So like last year when I decided I wanted the stage to be, the tent to be a different size, Stumpy had to go off and walk and stand in squares and work it all out. Hooray, his job, not mine. Woohoo!
Still a brilliant idea.
And then that all has to be checked once it's all been built by the local council. They come around and they inspect it to grant the license. So
so if you've made a mistake, they could shut you all down, and then you lot would turn up and there wouldn't be any gigs. So it's always very nerve-wracking. Anyway, back to the music, John.
It's all right. Back to Friday night then. So the rest of the set was the This Strange Engine album in order, including Hope for the Future.
I think it was a cracking show. The stage design, if I'm right, the curtains at the back was pretty much the same stage setup that they went out with on the Somewhere Else tour, with the curtain and the lighting. Was that the first time, Lucy, that they used Jens?
Did we use Jens? Is he on the?
Yeah, he's on the credits for it. I don't know whether it was actually his first first shows or not.
Not a clue. Sorry, I didn't do my homework. Was there no video screen?
No, there's no video screen on this one.
No.
Oh, that must have been cheaper.
Yeah,
That video screen for the weekend cost us about 40 grand to hire.
It looks good though.
Looks good, but
Looks good.
hell.
But I think this stage design looked really really nice, and I think I've got vague recollections of H at the time being very much, after using the screens and stuff for marbles, wanted to concentrate on people paying attention to the band rather than the backdrops and stuff. Just got that as a vague recollection from an interview
That
way back
makes
when.
sense.
Yeah.
I think Memory of Water's quite interesting because it's the album version and Pete plays keyboards on it on stage.
See?
Did you notice that,
Well,
Barnes?
I did notice that. It's also the first live debut of the album version, I think you'll find as well.
Yes, it is.
According to it says on my research. Can't remember it, but there you go.
Well, it was on the Friday. You should remember it. The family was still there.
Well, yeah, you're right.
But rewatching it, I thoroughly enjoyed the set.
It's great. It's great.
And the crowd were definitely up for it. And even Hope for the Future went down well as well.
It does, yeah.
Nothing wrong with Hope for the Future. Leave it alone.
We're not having a go at it. We're talking about it a lot. Anything else to say about the Friday night?
Yeah, there's two things actually. Well, there's one thing importantly. According to this list, and I don't remember this being true, did they do an encore of Most Toys and the Other Half, which means they played it twice the same night?
not aware. Where are you getting that from?
I think that was
Just on Setlist FM.
Okay.
I can't remember.
Yeah, so
but
it sort of rings a bell a little bit. I think, they played it once, they played it again for some reason. But
Would you
maybe I got it
like
wrong.
to look at the Marillion website, because that would probably say the
Well,
correct.
the Marillion website doesn't say they did that, but
There we go.
Barnes is right. It does on Setlist FM. It does say they played them again.
Yeah, I seem to recall they did do as well. I think that, it seems to ring true. If that makes sense.
Okay.
I can't remember. It's too long ago.
Yeah, I can't remember.
But that led us into the Saturday night set. So the Saturday, well, firstly to say that the Friday night was released on Bracky Records as This Strange Engine live at Marillion Weekend 2007. It's in the Friday night box, but it's available on Bandcamp through the band's Bandcamp page at the moment. The other two CDs from that weekend, the first one from the Saturday night is Friends, and that's the night where they played lots of covers. Thank you very much. Stephanie's modelling them for us there. That's the night where they played lots of covers and rarities. And I have to say, before we talk about it, it is still my favourite convention set list of all time, the Saturday night.
Wow.
I love it.
I like covers. I didn't approve of all the covers they chose, but the ones I liked or loved are the ones that that the fans loved the most. But I know that there was quite a bit of kickback on the band doing covers. Oh, I've paid money to see Marillion. I don't want to see them doing covers. It was like 5 songs or something, and I thought it was great, and I'd like them to do some covers in the future. Is he saying the same thing?
Yeah.
I'd like to see him do some covers in the future, but I'd like to make some suggestions.
Well, I think, weren't you responsible for them doing Bed Shaped?
Well, yeah. I mean, yes and no. Obviously, I'd played it a lot, and Ian really liked it. So Ian actually, suggested it. Back in 2007, I didn't get involved too much in setlist suggestions unless I was asked, if you see what I mean. Whereas now I stick my oar in all the time, but.
Don't wait to be asked now.
I don't wait to be asked, but in those days I used to sort of leave them to it. And so, yeah, that was Ian's suggestion, but probably because I play it, because I love that song, and I think they did that absolutely brilliantly.
Yeah.
So, John, do you want to go through the set list in order then? And see
well, I'm gonna read, because the CDs were... Sorry, Barnes, go.
Just as an intro, if you like. According to my list, there was 10 covers played.
Oh, really?
And 8 of those 10 have only ever been played on this occasion, ever. So 8 of them things have only been played once.
Okay.
Just so you know.
Barnes is the stat man tonight. He's on it.
Do you remember people complaining about covers, Barnes, as well, then?
No, I think more what it was, and I loved it as well. I think after 2 nights, it was 2 odd nights, and at that point, there'd not been any of the greatest hits. It was like, and then we'll come to Sunday in a minute, because it was like
they made
wall
up
to wall.
for it, didn't they? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but I think I loved it. I thought it was amazing. Yeah, absolutely loved it.
I think a convention set list for me should be completely different, and that's exactly what the Saturday night is. You will never see that set by them again.
No, that's a fact.
Go on then, do them one song at a time. Go.
Okay, so they started with I'm going to read it in the order they played it, because the CD's been resequenced slightly. So they started with The Release.
Fantastic.
Excellent.
That's a good opener.
Excellent.
The great opener. And I think that was
everyone going.
Yeah. I think that was the start of it being played, wasn't it? Because they then went on a bit of a run of...
First time since 1992, apparently, John.
Oh, hey, up Stato's back.
Thank you, Barnes.
First time since 92.
Very happy.
I'd not want to grumble, but it should have been on the album back in the day, shouldn't it?
Not want to grumble, but I agree.
We had this conversation in January.
Yeah.
I know.
The second track is the first cover of the night. It's Accidents Will Happen by Elvis Costello.
We're doing Genius or Bollocks, because I'm going for Genius on that one. If you're
it's a Genius one, yeah.
We're doing Genius or Bollocks on the cover.
Genius. Yeah,
Genius or Bollocks, yeah.
Genius, yeah. Genius.
I'll go back with the release being Genius as well, but whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Genius or Bollocks for each song.
Okay.
Go for it.
Next song that
Half
was
measures.
played but isn't on the album was Deserve.
Genius.
Genius, yeah.
Yeah.
I like
But
Deserve, yeah.
And that's not on the DVD either.
No.
Why not?
Don't know.
Why am I asking you? Why
I'm hoping you can tell us, but you're not gonna, yeah.
not on the DVD?
No,
I
not on the DVD.
reckon, and it's not on the CD either.
No.
And I would suggest that they played it really quite ropey, and that Mike Hunter, even with his genius, couldn't do anything to save it. So we probably said, "Oh, technical difficulty."
Yes, yeah.
But it was utter bollocks, and it couldn't be repaired. And it's their music, it's their art, and it's their decision. I know you guys all want to see it because you were there and and the band don't care if it's going out forever on celluloid. You know, they don't want anyone to see something that's substandard.
Yeah. I've no doubt I enjoyed it because I had a great night, so Deserve probably went really well for me.
Yeah. I will say genius for the song, but not on the night.
Yeah. And then next was another cover, 6 Months in Leaky Boat by Split Ends.
Bollocks.
Which was excellent, I'm going for.
Fantastic song, yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Genius, yeah.
Genius.
Yeah.
I think that's a H. I think it's a H choice, though. It's not based on any facts, but
played only once as well. So no one played only once.
And next up was Holloway Girl, which they didn't play very much up to that point.
First time since 1997, apparently, John.
But genius, obviously.
Yeah, I love that song.
Total genius.
Except it's not.
I think they could have replaced it with the release if they would put it on the album, but that's another story. One for another day.
I have a real... No, I can't.
Go on. Come on.
I just have a real problem. H's lyrics to me have always made me think or made me feel. And Holloway Girl, I was just like, oh, you're really sad that some women are in prison. Big deal.
Wow. Wow.
Whatever.
It's a trap, John. It's a trap.
It is, I know. I don't know where this is going to end up.
I'm going to get hate mail for that. But
it's the end of our podcast, Craig. It could all end here.
At least it wasn't us who did it.
No, but it's kind of how I felt about it. I kind of like the music, but the lyrics, I didn't connect and don't connect with the lyrics. I'm just like, whatever.
Is Stephanie going to defend it or not?
Stephanie, yeah.
It just reminds me of going along the Holloway Road on a bus, going to pick up my school uniform from the uniform shop.
Okay.
That's all I can think of because that's where the uniform shop was.
Fair enough.
Well, the uniform is made by the prisoners, by any chance.
Well,
Sorry, next.
Next up, I Will Walk on Water.
Genius.
Absolute genius.
Really?
What do you mean, really?
I think after the 22 songs, I'd put this by easily the worst.
No. The worst is not on the CD, and it was the last one of the set, and we'll get to it shortly.
All right, okay.
It's shocking, is that? But never mind.
Come on, Barnes, was it last played in 92 on the 10th anniversary?
Well, that's a very important question. What were we on? No, there's no real...
It had never been played.
It had. No, it was played at Wembley.
Got played at the Coco. Got played at the Coco as well the night before. So that's why it's not got any citation next to it.
All right. Next up, the best song of the night, You Don't Need Anyone.
Genius.
Yeah, pop genius. Love it.
And it's funny watching the DVD because you can see me and
we're all jumping about like idiots at the front.
We're jumping around like idiots, putting my backs out and stuff. Yeah. What a bunch.
It's not on the CD, is it, John? Is it on the CD?
It is. Yeah.
All right. On
the CD, because the CD's got the same track list as the DVD. So
okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
First time played since 1990, apparently. Just so you know.
Yeah.
Oh.
Definitely was a rarities night, wasn't it? The real rarities, these lot.
Oh.
Well, it'll have been played on the holidays tryouts gigs, so TikTok Club and all that sort of thing. But next up, a real rarity, number one.
Genius.
Yeah.
First time played since 2001, just so you know.
Craig?
Genius or you're wrong.
Okay, genius.
Whoa! Whoa. The genius and bollocks police are here. Sorry.
Yeah. And that was the one with Stephanie Sophie-Jones.
It was a
on the
well-done
original
for
recording.
using a correct name there, Craig, because I know
Yes,
what you wanted to
I'm not going to say. I am not going to say it because
No.
that was almost a car crash, and me and Mark
She's a
laughing
lovely
for
lady. Stop it.
Me and Mark Kennedy laughing for hours, but
Yes.
we'll not do that story on the podcast.
Next up, another cover, Crowded House. She Goes On.
Brilliant.
Bollocks.
Stephanie?
Genius.
Yeah. Great song.
Bracken?
Love Crowded House.
Yeah.
What a night this was.
Absolutely, but I was spent by this point, Barnes. Were you?
Yeah, and also no one knew what was coming. That was the best thing about it. What's this? You know what I mean? Wasn't it? For every song.
Sympathy was next. Which
Genius.
isn't on the
Genius.
CD. Yeah.
I love it when the band do the full version of it rather than the acoustic-y, semi-acoustic version, because I think they're the proper rock that.
Well, it's funny you should say that, Craig, because this is the first time they played it electric since 1992. So in 15 years, first time they'd played it.
Ooh.
Remember seeing it at the 10th anniversary gig at Wembley.
We did, yeah. Next up, the aforementioned Bed Shaped by Keane.
Genius.
Definite genius.
Genius.
Let's go t-shirt on. Look at that. That is impressive. I think that's a straight genius all round, isn't it, John?
It is, absolutely. And the next one may well be These Chains.
I love
Genius.
these
Love
tunes.
it.
I love these chains.
Yeah.
Genius.
Rarely played. I've got it wrote down how many times that's been played, but it's quite a low number. It's,
Yeah, 'cause
it's less than
played it on
20 altogether.
Yeah, because they played it. I remember them playing it on the tour on Radiation, but not really
Yeah.
since then.
Anyway, this was the first time it had been played in 8 years, since 1999.
Yeah.
What a night.
What
It was epic.
it's just getting better, isn't it? Just getting better. Next up, The Bell in the Sea.
Love it.
Genius.
Yeah.
Was it the proper version or the?
It was the proper
The
version.
proper version,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, no, definitely.
Not the "Oh no, everything's broken down" version with
Yeah.
Tom Bates. No, not
The
that
emergency
one.
version.
That one.
The break glass to play.
With Nick Beggs on the cruise, we were like, Nick, you got to learn this song just in case. Because Ian was like, oh crap, what are we going to do if everything fails? And H is like, don't worry, I'll do it on my own.
Have you, at the risk of talking about another podcast, have you heard the Corona Diaries today with Nick Beggs?
No,
on
not
it?
yet. No.
Yes,
It's
No.
absolutely brilliant. It's
That's gonna be
gold, isn't
so
it?
good, so good.
he is lovely.
He's such a match for H. He really is.
Anyway, what's a podcast doing coming out on a Wednesday?
All right. Here's
Thanks
a
on the lawn.
rarity. I have to pronounce it in Yorkshire, this one. Built-in bastard radar.
Genius.
Genius.
I
Bollocks.
love it, that one.
Bollocks. I don't
And this was
know.
the-
Just know.
Apparently, this was the live debut of it as well. Never played before.
No. Stephanie, not a fan?
I wouldn't go as far as saying genius, and I wouldn't go as far as saying bollocks.
Well, you have to pick one.
That's not the rules of the game,
rules.
Stephanie.
Them's the rules.
It's got the word bastard in it. It's got to be good.
Yeah. Geniolux.
Geniolux.
Oh, no. No, stop it now. You've broken the format. Next up, the Beatles. Good morning, good morning.
Bollocks.
Genius.
Genius.
Oh, genius. Go for it.
That's the Beatles.
You
I thought
see,
this-
if I'd been in charge of choosing, I would have got them to do a different Beatles song.
What
I
was
agree
it?
with
What
Lucy.
I'm saying about their choice of covers, I didn't particularly. They didn't excite me,
Yeah.
and I would have
What
changed.
Beatles song would you have picked
Yeah,
then?
which one?
Well, something like "Come Together" or something. I don't know.
I'd love to hear him do A Day in the Life.
Yeah, maybe.
Not really a sing-along, but it'd be good.
Yeah.
Gonna start making a list now for them to do a cover version
Yes.
in a few years' time.
Bring back Friends Night.
Yellow Submarine for a sing-along, wouldn't it?
Well, yeah. This is good for sing-along. Next track, Britney's Toxic.
Oh,
Genius,
genius.
Excellent.
genius, Mike Hunter, genius, Mike Hunter, genius, Mike Hunter.
Okay. I think it's
That
genius, folks. Yeah.
Yeah, that was Mike said. Now I can't do his accent, so I won't do the impression. But Mike was like, "Bear with me. You should do Britney Spears." To which they all went, and he went, "No, do it like that, arrangement, and they all went, all right, give it a go. And then they all went, oh my God, that's so much fun. And it was brilliant because obviously we knew what was happening, what was going to happen. And Stephanie was probably standing beside me at the side of the stage. We just peeked out and looked at everyone's faces. It was just standing going, what? Especially when it started, because it started off slow.
Yeah.
And people thought they were going to play something else, and then they went wah, and carried on.
Yeah. Yeah, they were teasing as though they were just going to do a couple of bars of it, weren't they? Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it's a good version as well. Another cover then.
Sorry, hang about, John.
Yeah.
Because Toxic's been out on tour a few times, hasn't it? Well, technically 6 times. And I'm trying to remember where we might have seen it. Has it been played at a different convention, do you think?
Yes.
I think it's been played again sometime. And also it was released as a single?
It was a B-side.
The B-side.
Was it B-side, was it? I thought it was a single. There you go.
That was on one of the CDs. Thank you, whoever you are.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. There we go. Another cover, Jellyfish. The King is Half Undressed.
Bollocks.
Genius.
Genius.
Genius. Yeah.
I remember buying the Jellyfish album the first week it came out. Way back. Was it 92 or something? Yeah.
Oh,
I remember seeing the single. Yeah.
There's 2, but yes. Yeah. Great song. Great band as well. Blackberry Way by The Move.
Love this version. Absolutely love this. It's just such a great sing-along old school tune, isn't it? You know, it's 1969 or something like that. But
Yeah.
Bit of Roy there.
I think all my bollocks. I think all my bollocks go back to what we said at the very beginning of the podcast when I said, do you like hearing songs for the first time live? I hadn't heard any of those songs because I didn't go down into the studio when they were rehearsing, and if I had, you can't hear anything anyway because they've all got their ears. So it was the first time I'd heard any of them because I didn't know the songs. So everything I said bollocks to was new to me, and I'm not good at hearing music live for the first time. I like to sit with it, so that's why I'm saying bollocks to them all, because I was like, oh, didn't know that one, you know.
Okay.
Just explaining my bollocks.
No. I like the phrase you said something about all my bollocks, as though you have a collection of them, really. But yeah, that's all right.
It's okay. All the blokes who've crossed her.
Okay, Barnes. Next up. How Can It Hurt?
Absolute rubbish.
Genius.
No, it's horrific.
Horrific. It's absolutely trash. Awful.
All of you.
Awful song.
All of you except me.
Awful.
Excuse me, listeners. We're just going to have a little punch up. Lucy's very, very, very upset with the 4 people on the screen.
A collection of bollocks has just gone up.
It has, yeah.
How can it hurt if I don't understand?
Yeah. Also, this was the live debut, apparently.
Yeah.
Wonder why.
That really, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh, you're all miserable.
No, I'm not. No. You've got, in one weekend we had Hope for the Future and How Can It Hurt?
Oh God.
And we still came back for Sunday night as well. Yeah.
Carry on.
Next up, Everybody Hurts, R.E.M.
Genius.
Yeah.
I think that was Ian's suggestion as well. That was because I play that one a lot.
Yeah. It was a good version. I'm not a big R.E.M. fan, Stephanie. We did talk about this on your pod, didn't we? I'm just...
I did. Every time you say it, I'm always shocked by it. Because
I'm sorry. I'll have a word with myself, but it just...
John, you want to take the potatoes out your ears? That's the problem.
I think we've got such similar music tastes. I find it strange that it just...
there was a period where I just thought they were the most overhyped band in the world, but I don't know whether that's coloured my view on them. But
I think at the time, about 91 and stuff like that, they were everywhere.
Yeah.
They were getting lauded left, right and centre, so I suppose a little bit of a pushback there.
Yeah.
Just listen to that song again, though. It's so beautiful. That song started to mean something to me when my mum died. It was sort of around that time, I think. And just the words to it, they're beautiful. It's a beautiful song about death, and I love it.
Okay. Yeah, no, it's a fantastic song, but yeah, I don't know.
Are you saying, what do you mean? It's a fantastic song, but you're saying my band didn't play it very well?
No.
Excuse me, listeners. I'm just about to fight with John.
We've already had a fight and you won. So let's not do that again. Next up, ABBA. Money, money, money.
My eyes,
genius.
my eyes.
Yes.
Genius that I never want to see H putting on fishnet tights ever again in my life. Backstage, accidentally saw that. My eyes.
It's genius, though. It really is.
It is. But Tim Sidwell talks about being mentally scarred because he was manning the camera that was underneath H at that point. And when he put his foot up on the wedge, Tim saw something he didn't really want to see.
I think I remember H saying to the band, I want to dress as a woman, is that okay? And they were like, yeah, crack on. And then they didn't know what he was wearing until we came on wearing it. And they went, oh, hello.
No, it's a great version. And it's that and the next song bring the night to a really, really good ending. They finished with Hocus Pocus by Focus.
Which has become
Genius.
it's become a staple now, hasn't it, for the end of the conventions?
But I think you two ladies were busy at that point kicking balloons out into the audience, weren't you?
I would absolutely think so.
Yes.
Yeah. But I still stand by what I said before. That is my favourite convention set list ever.
You said there was another song.
No, that's it.
You
Hocus
did.
Pocus.
You said there was another song that didn't make the DVD.
Oh, How Can It Hurt isn't on the DVD for obvious reasons.
For obvious reasons.
Oh, well, it'll probably be the same reason as Deserve. It'll probably be that they played
I
it.
don't think so.
Bollocks.
No, I don't think so. I think
It's on a hiding to nothing before it starts, isn't it? So,
Shut up, all of you. I'm going to make sure it's in the convention set list.
I know you are.
Yeah.
Which one are you going to? I'll make sure it's there.
You'll probably release it as a single just to spite me, won't you? Yeah.
And get a T-shirt made with your name on the back.
Fine. That's fine. I
We'll
look forward.
physically stop you from leaving and going to the toilet at that point.
Because we have the power. All right?
Well, that was a very dramatic Saturday night, wasn't it? So,
Oh, I'm tired just talking about
I
that.
know.
But do you know, I haven't listened to this for so long.
Have you not?
No.
Oh, it's great.
Oh, I'm going to have to put it on tomorrow in the car. No, I'm on the thing tomorrow.
This isn't a dig. There are a lot of Marillion live albums, and I have them all, but this is one of the ones I play the most.
It's a regular of mine, yeah.
It's such a good
I would
album.
say, John, the next one we're about to review is one I play probably the most of the live CDs,
Okay.
which we're about to kind of go to now, just so you know.
Yeah, so Sunday night, and this was released. Well, just to recap, the Saturday night is available from Marillion's Bandcamp, and it's under the title of Friends. But Sunday night,
Highly recommended.
Yes.
Sunday night is the opposite of Saturday night. It's all your favourites, really. It was released on a double CD called Family. Again, it's on Bandcamp. We're just going through the set list, and I'd be very surprised if any of these get bollocks.
Yeah, it's all killer, no filler, this one,
All
isn't it?
killer, yeah, absolutely. Splintering Heart to start.
Genius.
Yes.
Was that when we lowered him down? Or was that...
No.
That was later on, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I was wondering that, but yeah,
Was that the Holidays in Zealand one, where they lowered them
Yeah.
down
Oh,
on
yes,
the...
yes,
yeah.
yes.
13, was that?
Also, John, and
Yeah.
anyone who's interested, I would say there's 3 songs which are played this night, which are the definitive live versions of them songs, I would say.
Okay, well,
And
you
it's a
tell, us,
Splintering Heart.
you tell us when we get
Well,
to them then.
Well, the first one we've got to, which is Splintering Out. I think
Okay.
this is what
It's
this
a
is
really
the
good
best
version.
live.
Yeah, it's a really good
epic.
version.
It's epic. Yeah.
Okay. Moving on to Hotel Hobbies, Warm Wet Circles, That Time of the Night.
Genius.
Yeah,
Genius.
yeah. Great opening to a set, those two.
Also, a bit of trivia for you, if you like.
Come on then.
They played the whole of the instrumental to Hotel Hobbies, which I don't think they normally do. They normally cut it short. And also H sang the last third of it, something like that.
Yeah,
which
last
is
few
sort of-
lines, yeah.
Yeah, which is quite rare. If I don't think I've ever heard it sing it anyway.
I was
No.
going to say,
Yeah, which is a shame, really.
I'm wrong, listeners, but
Yeah.
I think they did that on the very first gig of the tour they've just done. Pretty sure I'll have to listen to the downloads, but I'm pretty sure that they did that because Ian wanted to play that because of his drumming and he loves that instrumental bit, and I'm pretty sure they did it on the first gig and then they dropped it.
Okay.
And I can't remember but I could be wrong and I could be talking bollocks.
Well, no, please
We're in the right place.
Email in or put a comment in the Facebook group and let us know. If
Or
you've got
Mark
the download.
Kennedy can just look at the download or whatever, but I'm pretty sure.
Okay. Next up, You're Gone.
Genius.
Obviously, genius.
Yeah.
And the crowd watching the DVD, but the crowd really getting into on this version of it.
Well, we are just coming out of the Marbles era, aren't we? Really?
Yes, I mean the single had only been out
quite
maybe
current
3 years.
Yeah. On to Fantastic Place.
Genius.
Perennial favourite.
Absolutely.
Do you listen to this the other week, Craig, doing your homework? At the very end of the song where H tries to hit the high note, he fails to hit it about 4 times. He keeps having a go at it.
That's on Afraid of Sunlight.
Gone, isn't it?
That's on Afraid of Sunlight.
Oh, is it?
Afraid of Sunlight. And he complains.
He says he broke my voice again.
Yeah.
There you
go. But we can edit that round. You can fix that in the edit, Craig.
That's fine.
No, you're staying in. You were wrong.
100% on my homework.
That's all got it wrong, yeah. Next up, as they've...
Stephanie.
I have to say, this song, I so much prefer live. I never really got it on the album, but live it's like a completely different song to me.
What song?
Fantastic Place.
Oh, right.
Right.
Well, it's a song that they do so well live, and it's something that everybody loves.
I bet somebody doesn't.
Well, they're not on the podcast, so
I'm invited on this podcast.
Next up, Afraid of Sunlight.
Genius.
One of my favourite songs, full stop. And they say he was broken. I mean, how many songs and how much he's put into this weekend. I'm not surprised that H broke himself because he's really going for it he didn't hold anything back all weekend. And
it's
I think
probably not a great idea to put Afraid of Sunlight or The Space into a Sunday night convention set list, is it? Because by that point,
weirdly, you should say that because let's get to The Space because I think that's we'll wait till we get there.
Stop it!
I'll stop myself.
Don't get excited.
I am.
Bit of a rarity next. More to the backstage into Blind Curve.
Genius.
Brilliant.
Genius.
Yeah.
Nice when they do some misplaced stuff.
Yeah. On to Between You and Me.
Great live and genius.
Genius bonnets.
I'm a bit like that on this one. I like it live, but it's all right. But
it's a song I think works better live than the studio version.
Yeah, definitely better live, and when they speed it up a bit.
Yeah.
And they tend to, when they play it live, they tend to speed it up from the record and it's better.
Yeah, good version as well on this. On to Neverland.
Brilliant.
Yes.
Really good version of it as well.
What can you say? Yeah,
it's really good.
There
seems to be something about the mix as well, where it's Steve Rothery's guitar's a lot higher the right way through. Do you think that's true, or is that just me imagining
in this
it?
version?
Well, no, in the whole of the evening, it's just like it's a real banger of a night. It seems to be a lot louder, or there's something about it. Just it really went for it in some weird way.
I think this is.
Does it say mixed by Steve Rothery? No, it doesn't.
No. I think this is the first of the live stuff that was recorded. By Mike Hunter, yeah. Because before that, the previous convention I think had been done by.
I think you're right.
Maybe Roderick, was it?
No, I think Dave Meegan had done some stuff and some of the previous stuff.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, but I think this was the first Mike Hunter one. It's a great mix.
Next up, another classic, The Great Escape.
Genius.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
One of my favourite songs of all time and a great live version of it.
Banger after banger, this one, isn't it?
They said no filler on this one.
No. King next.
Genius.
Genius.
I think this is the definitive version of King as well. Do you want my vote? Yeah, it's brilliant. It's absolutely
epic. Invisible Man.
Is an encore.
Yeah.
Encore number 2. Second encore.
Yeah.
Genius.
Yeah, genius.
Also,
I remember thinking at this time of the night, when I remember back to 2000, whenever it was 7, I was like, when they'd done King, I thought, right, that's it.
And then coming an Invisible Man,
Yeah.
the legs
Invisible
back,
Man, I think.
But
There
you
go,
were
that's
the
definitely
family
it.
had disappeared, and you were drinking at this point.
I was clag gone by then, admittedly. Yeah.
your legs and your back. But if they did it now, you'd be on the floor.
So yeah, the space.
Genius.
Genius.
Yeah.
And this is the definitive version of the space. It's unbelievable. It's brilliant.
No, the definitive version of that's the
Oh,
Royal
well,
Albert.
No, I'll give you that. Fair enough. But certainly being there at the show, I thought they absolutely hit it. You know, being there on the ground, if that makes sense. Not that I wasn't at the Royal Albert Hall. But it's really good.
Yeah, I think
Royal Albert Hall hanging from the ceiling.
And they finished with Hocus Pocus again, which isn't on CD, but yeah.
Which isn't on CD because it was better the night before.
It was a bit, yeah. We're all tired by that.
Did we throw balloons again?
Don't think so. Fantastic set list, that. It really
is. It's one of those, they could go out on tour with that set list today. And nobody would go home disappointed.
No.
Apart from Lucy.
I think it's
or something, but
it's definitely my top 5 shows ever. Definitely. It's probably in the top 3, I would say, even. It was that good.
I'm going to do something I've never done on the podcast. I'm going to say, I'm really sorry. I'm going to the toilet. I'm really
Well, let's talk about him while he's out of the room.
Talk about you now.
Can you do a podcast for me?
You what?
Can you do a podcast for me?
Can I do a podcast for you?
Yeah. Can you ask the fans which tour or convention was their favourite set list?
Ooh.
Do a poll at the end, can you, Craig?
Yeah, I can do a poll for that.
Yeah, could you? Could you do it quite soon, please?
Quite probably. Just have a word with John.
We could cheat it as well if we want to, Craig.
Do a bonus episode.
Yeah, do it. There's a method.
Stop talking about him. He's back.
There's a method in my madness. So if you could ask that would be much appreciated.
Well, tell his highest when he sits his bum down.
When's Hope for the Future, and how can it hurt double A side out then?
Thursday.
We're having bed sheets made for you for Port Zelande with those titles printed all over. And we're literally going, every time you go to the merch desk and want to buy something, they'll go under the counter where we've had a specially made version of said object for you.
That's right.
And you know we can do it.
I know.
Oh, yes.
You know I'm a sucker for limited editions, Lucy. I'm fine.
Anyway, she's got a question to ask you. She wants us to do a special podcast asking
Could you do
questions.
a special podcast for me, please? Could you ask the fans what their favourite ever set list with H has been?
Yeah.
From whenever he joined, 80 whatever, to today, they can have. So you just said that would be in your top 5.
Yeah.
I'd like to know what your favourite set list ever.
In fact, we could just leave this bit in the podcast and ask themselves part of this.
There you go. Hello, everyone that's listening. In the comments below, could you please write what the favourite set list was? Like, I really enjoyed the Brave set list in 1993 at Nottingham Royal Concert Hall. I really enjoyed the Marillion Weekend Saturday night in Sweden in whenever we played Sweden, 2021, whatever it was. If you could do that, it would be very useful. That's all I'm saying.
There you go.
There we go.
Excellent.
There we go.
Or the 4th of February, 2007.
Which
Which is this one.
Which we can
You
obviously...
said it was in your top 5. You didn't say...
No, it's top 5. No, I think as a set list, it might be my number 1, but top 5 gigs, I've seen them.
Okay. Right.
And I think, possibly the best was the Royal Albert Hall. But the best set list, this was epic. Just an epic night, I thought.
It was a great weekend. It really was. It was a real step up to go to Holland.
You got
and as he said, have the park to ourselves.
Yeah, you have to differentiate between your favourite gig, as in the experience and everything, and a set list. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But coming back to the weekend that we're currently talking about.
Sorry. Yes, Mum.
It was such a step up from the UK ones. And they could have come on and played 3 sets on kazoo when we'd all have gone mental. So
No, you wouldn't.
we would. We were so excited to be there.
Fans moan.
No, they do. They do. I mean, we have
They moan to us on the
on email.
Friday night or whatever. You come out and you're all happy.
Yeah.
And Stephanie's doing her rock disco. I'm doing the other way around. That proper thing she does. And my rock disco.
No, I'd like to
and you
see that.
literally have people come up to you and go, I didn't enjoy the set list tonight. And it's so upsetting because there you are and you're really excited because everyone you think is having a really good time. And one fucker sits there and says, oh, I didn't enjoy it. Save your shit till when you afterwards. I don't care right now. You've just pissed on my bonfire.
Yeah.
Craig, you're going to edit all these bits together, aren't you? So that's just one podcast.
That's it. An alternative view for balance.
Soapbox.
It's true though, Stephanie, isn't it?
It's true. It really does. I mean, you know, we put our hearts and souls into these weekends and, you know, the energy that we're carrying around the whole time, you know, we don't sleep. It's just full on. And just one person coming up and saying that is just enough to...
It's not what you say, it's how you say it. What I say on all the fan groups. When people go, oh, I can't say that I don't like Marillion because, you know, Lucy just... whatever.
Get a grip, John. We're losing listeners. Get a grip.
I sit there and I say it. You do it well. When you don't like something on this podcast, you explain why you don't like it. You say, I don't like it because it blah, 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 doesn't do anything for me. I don't expect everyone to like every song. I don't myself, but choose your words. Don't just go, it's shit, I hate it.
Yeah.
Say, and this is why all the band left Marillion and fans when an hour before it came out, because there was 5 or 6 people just going, I hate it, it's shit. And you've put your heart and soul into something. Choose your words, boys. Choose your words. You don't have to like it. We're not saying you have to like it. Choose your words.
I think we're going to have to get the girls some T-shirts made with fuckety offerty on, just to make sure if anybody comes to say to you, say fuckety offerty.
In all seriousness, Lucy, speaking on behalf of lots of my friends, and Stephanie, we love what you do for the weekends. We know it's a lot of work, and it's
99.9% of fans know exactly what.
We know how much work you put into it, and you know we appreciate it. We really do.
Thank you.
But so please keep doing it, and we'll try and keep the idiots away from you.
Which is the best convention, John? The answer: the next one.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's why I've got a golf cart now at Port Zelande, so I can just drive away from the fuckers.
Gonna borrow our tank for it next time.
Have you got
jet lag?
Have you got favourite conventions? Would it be based on the location rather than anything else?
Who, me?
Yeah, you and Stephanie. Something that you've enjoyed more than others?
Stephanie, what was the first... Sorry, Stephanie's got to remember for me because I've got no brain. What was the first Port Zelande where I turned around to you and said, I actually enjoyed that? Was it not last year, but was it like 2019?
Yeah, 2019.
It took till 2019 for me to actually enjoy a Port Zelande.
Wow.
It was just so stressful.
There was one year you were really upset. I think that was
the year the guy really had to go at me. It was after Z. He hated the A to Z night and he approached me outside the Adventure Factory and actually cornered me and like almost had me against the wall saying he'd paid all this money and that just played a pile of shit all night. What? And I was tired and emotional. I think it's the only time I've lost my temper with a fan. Normally I just smile politely and just get and walk off. But this time I actually think I'll let it rip at him. And then he was all over, I don't know who he was. He was all over Facebook saying I was really rude to him, but he totally and utterly deserved it.
Yeah.
And you've got his bollocks
really
somewhere.
Yeah, his bollocks are in your collection, yeah.
And it put a whole slight on the whole weekend. But I pretty much always have a really good time in Montreal.
Yeah.
That's always so much fun. And Leicester.
Yeah.
And
I'd
human
say
because it was
like
hot. You know, there's reasons for liking each one, I think.
there's definitely different aspects about them that make them all quite unique to each other. That really, I just love them all. I couldn't choose a favourite child.
And in the unlikely event that somebody listening has never been to a Marillion convention,
Oh, they're awful. No, don't want to go. Don't want to go. I need these lists.
could you sum up what I asked you this, Stephanie, I think the other week. Could you sum up what a Marillion convention is?
I'll let Lucy do this time.
Well, it's fans from all over the world getting together in a room with the same thing in common. And oh God, this is really corny, but if you go alone, you'll make friends. And by the end of the night, you'll have new friends. And at the very beginning of this podcast, Stephanie said, you know, she came to a Marillion barbecue, met me, got a job. You know, we're humans, we're people, and all the Marillion fans. I mean, it is like a family. There's the weird uncle, there's the annoying aunt. Yeah, you're pointing at each other. Definitely be people you don't like. Just come and ask me or Stephanie, and we'll tell you who they are. But there'll definitely be people you won't like. But the majority of people you will find something in common with, which is Marillion, and you will just have a ball.
Yeah.
And it's just a really good laugh. So come along, have fun, don't be scared.
That's the best advert you could have, isn't it, really? Any final thoughts on 2007 weekend in particular? Barnes?
No, other than I loved it. It's brilliant, you know, as you'd imagine.
Yeah. Craig?
I thought it was great fun, and you know, haven't missed one since. Not mentioning the same.
Here we go. Here we go.
a certain person who
we're
didn't go
talking
to
about
2015.
John going, I'm not going, it's too expensive. They're ripping off the fans. And then
Did not say that.
The best weekends.
Didn't say that. I went to support Mick Pointer instead.
You did say that.
I did. Well, no, I didn't. I didn't say that. And then you were messaging me from the site saying, just come over, we'll find you a bed.
Yeah, because you were going, I can't believe I'm missing this. And we were like,
all right. I've never done it since. All right.
Just say words. Say it. Say you were wrong.
I was wrong, and I missed a good weekend.
It was epic. Absolutely epic.
But we did find a drinking den in Leamington Spa that I never knew existed. So
when you're editing, Craig, can you snip out the audio of him saying I was wrong and just send me that bit?
I'll say I was wrong.
So that I can use it.
I wasn't wrong about how can it hurt.
T-shirt.
But
I can use it for every time he says something that I disagree with. I could just play the voice memo. I was wrong.
You could have it as a ringtone.
I will. I've got individual ringtones for each of the band. They're excellent. Except, no, I can't say that.
No, you can't.
Doesn't matter.
Stop it now. Well, I thoroughly enjoyed Weekend 2007, and I enjoyed all the ones apart from the one I missed. So, yeah, please keep going. We love it. And if you've not been, apply for the next one, because it's going to be fantastic.
And the Planet Marzipan live in Port Zealand 2025. Oh dear.
Yeah, wow. Planet Marzipan. Don't forget the quiz. The quiz is good.
It wasn't me. It wasn't me this time. It was him. Hey, Barnes, wasn't me.
It wasn't me. I'll let you off.
No. All right. On that bombshell,
oh dear.
We'd like to say thank you very much to Stephanie Bradley.
Very welcome. My pleasure.
Lucy Jordache.
Very welcome, my pleasure, except why is Barnes last? That makes him sound the most important. What are you doing? It should be Barnes first.
Ladies
whoa. Stop a horse here. Stop a horse.
All right, forget it.
And the most important.
I'd like to say good night to Craig Houston.
Good night, ladies.
Good night.
Barnsley Wood.
Oh, good night, John and Craig and everybody else. Thank you very much.
Stephanie Bradley.
Good night.
And last but not least, Lucy Jordache.
My pleasure anytime you like, as long as I can say bollocks a lot.
You can say whatever you want, and you've exercised that right this evening, and it's fantastic. Thank you very much. Thanks for listening, folks. Take care.
And stay alive. Thanks for listening to Planet Marzipan Podcast. Please like and subscribe from whichever platform you get your podcasts from. You can contact us at planetmarzipanpodcast@gmail.com and check out marillion.com, fishmusic.scot or fishmusic.eu